Well, good morning. Here we are back midweek, slowly marching our way just a few days away from Christmas and the birth of the Christ child. We're going to start by lighting our Christ candle, just to remind us that even though we're waiting for Christ to come, Christ is always here. We're never alone. Christ is always with us. We're going to start this morning with a reading from the Gospel of Luke. When it was time for Elizabeth to have her baby, she gave birth to a son. Her neighbors and relatives heard that the Lord had shown her great mercy, and they shared her joy. On the 8th day, they came out to circumcise the child, and they were going to name him after his father Zechariah. But the mother spoke up and said, "No, he is to be called John." They said to her, "There is no one amongst your family or relatives who has that name." And then they made signs to the father to find out what he would like to name the child. He asked for a writing tablet, and to everyone's astonishment, he wrote, "His name is John." Immediately, his mouth was opened and his tongue was set free, and he began to speak and praising God. All the neighbors were filled with awe, and throughout the hill country of Judea, people were talking about all these things. Everyone who heard this was wondering about it, asking, "What then is this child going to be?" For the Lord's hand was with him. And Michelle reflects on this one, titling this one Mystery. When I was in high school, my family traveled to visit my grandfather in Mexico for Christmas. I still can't believe my parents undertook this journey, packing 6 kids into a Volkswagen bus that surely had less power than Mary and Joseph's donkey, and driving over the mountains from Mexico City to Oaxaca. Wearied from our own journey, we arrived just in time for the celebration of Los Padres, re-imaging Mary and Joseph's long walk and search for a place to stay. Crowded children billowed after the altar boys and their tall candles, escorting statues of Mary and Joseph, swaying on their shoulders of their bearers. House after house chased us away, but at last we reached the square, where the statues were placed by a crib and a piñata hung for the children. When the papier-mâché ball broke, scattering candy everywhere, my glasses fell off in the resulting scrum. My mother found me on the edge of the crowd, confused in darkness, unsure where my family was. Suddenly, my 5-year-old brother Gene came bounding up, crying, "I found the big prize!" Clutching in his hands were my silver-framed glasses, covered in fingerprints, a bit bent, but unbroken. It was a miracle. For years, my mother and I remembered this minor miracle, the rescue of my almost unscathed glasses from under the feet of hundreds of excited children. How did this happen? The mystery of it all kept us telling the story. Just like Zechariah and Elizabeth's neighbors, thrown off balance by events outside the course of their usual experiences, we cannot stop telling the mysterious stories of Advent again and again, trying to comprehend what has happened to us and why. The unending mystery draws us out of the everyday, luring us even deeper into God's incomprehensible, luminous darkness. And something to meditate on that through your day. What small miracles have you noticed around you? How do they draw you closer to God? Let's close out with a prayer. Overturn our expectations, O God, and let the small miracles you have offered us draw us deeper into the mystery of your being, until the day that we may see you face to face. Well, thank you for joining us today. Join us tomorrow morning there as we read one more and get one day closer to the birth of the Christ child. Until then, stay safe and God bless.